Recording in progress.
Good morning, welcome to iCare, iMove. This is Move More Reimagined, so our online version. We are at week 21, so 5 weeks, including this week to go. So please stay with us right to the end and then let us know how you get on. So always, as always, make sure you've got a drink. I'll give you a chance to have a drink. Have a drink nearby, make sure you've got space around you, something to support you for when we come into standing. And do what you can do, rest if you need to. If you're finding something too uncomfortable, then make it smaller or just stop. If we're kind of quite active, we never want you to stop completely. So just sit in your chair and lift your heels. So we're going to start. So we're going to look at your posture. So relax in the chair. So this is kind of a slouched position. I want you to use the muscles in your belly. Push forwards if you want to. Come up to seated. And then lift through the belly, lift the chest and breathe. So you're away from the back of the chair. If not, then hip walk forwards in the chair. So this is your hip walk. We're lifting the bottom one side and moving forwards a little bit. And this is our hip walk. So sit up, think about posture. Try and tuck your bottom under, pull the belly in, relax the shoulders down. So that's your lovely posture. And chin is kind of parallel to the floor. Lots to think about, but it becomes second nature to you. So first of all, we're going to take our feet a little bit wider. Now that creates a nice wide base of support so that if we were to go side to side, you'd be nice and steady. You wouldn't topple off the side. So let's come into that hip walk. So slowly, shift the weight side to side and lift the bottom back so that you're right at the back of the chair. And then we're going to shift the weight side to side, and I'm going to show you from the side. Oops, just taking out the lights. So side to side looks like this. So I've got a big speaker on my back. So I come to the front third of the chair. I shift and lift my bottom so I come to the very back of the chair, okay? So I can actually sit back, but we're not going to do that. We're just working through this hip walk. So this is the way we always want you to get forwards in your chair. Now, we don't ever want to see that kind of slide and push. That's not good for you. It's not safe. And this is so much better. So keep going. Can you hip walk again? Let's do one more time. Morning, Maggie. Who else is coming? Morning, Violet, Caroline. And I thought I saw Trudy. Hope so. Right, so what do we do here? Let's lift our heels. So one heel lifts, then the other. So keep the foot on the floor. We're not marching yet. This is a heel lift and we're in a circulation boost now. So we're pushing the blood up through the calves, the thighs, to your heart, which pushes the blood to your brain, and it gets you warmer, because the blood's circulating a little bit faster. We're going to add in a little arm movement. So relax the shoulders and just swing those arms up to your ears and back down towards your hips. That's it. So nothing too strenuous at the moment. And you always work to your own ability. If you need to just do a few and rest, we know so many of you have got different things going on. So some of you have spine problems and you're not allowed to twist or bend. Some of you have conditions that may mean that you might get tired. So, and lots of other things, arthritis and heart problems. So everybody's different. Okay, hold it there. Hands down to the side, feet walk out a little bit. And then we're going to take that little lean down to the side and pull up using those muscles in your belly. Other side, come up and lean, come up. So keep moving, leaning down as if you were picking up something off the floor. So what we're doing is imagine your spine, and your spine is working. It's kind of moving to the side. We're warming up the joints, the fluids around the joints and all that gel. The discs that help to support and protect your joints, your spine. So we're just warming up each and every one of those. So into the heel march or just a heel lift, back to that circulation boost. So this is the warm up and circulation boost. So we always start this. Otherwise, when we do bigger movements later, you're going to be stiff and sore. Okay, so thinking about moving the spine, rotating, hands on the thighs. One hand pushes away, one hand pulls back, and then change sides. So if you can, take your eye gaze with you. So think about lifting that chest up again and just taking a turn. If it makes you dizzy, then just keep looking forwards. But you're pushing just gently that shoulder backwards in your own time. So pulling, pushing, forwards and back, forwards and back. Lovely.
Malcolm, if you try and keep your eye gaze forward, don't look down at the floor throughout the exercises. Always keep your eye gaze forward. You'll be less dizzy.
Thanks, Nick. Keep breathing. So try not to, it's really easy to kind of go backwards and hold your breath. We don't want you to do that. Keep going. Oh, someone's trying to get in. Keep going. Lovely. Okay, back to the centre and then lift those heels again for me. One at a time. Excellent. Oh, I'm on the floor thingy, it's creaking. Lovely. Okay, let's come into that shoulder raise. So lifting the shoulders up towards the ears. Now gently, slowly dropping down. So no clunky movements here. It's a lift, a big squeeze up to the ears and slowly down. Push the fingers down towards the floor and then lift up again. Ooh. So you might feel a bit creaky here, a bit stiff. I've just done Pilates, so I don't feel too bad today. So it just goes to show, doesn't it? If we do some stretches and some movement, then hopefully you won't feel as uncomfortable or stiff. Push those fingers right down and then squeeze the shoulders right up. And then we're going to come into a shoulder circle. So forward slightly, up to the ears. I'll show you from the side. And all the way back and down. Okay, forward slightly, right up, all the way back and down. So really important to take some time here because we'll be going into presses later, lunges, knee bends. Oh, did your legs hurt last week? Last week we did all of those heel and toe lifts and the fronts of my shins were killing me for days. And I was like, oh, I hope that you didn't feel that too. So hopefully you didn't, but let me know if you did. And apologies if you did. I was like, what have I been doing? And that was the only thing I'd been doing to make them sore. Okay, back into your heel lift. So we're going to really swing these arms. We've warmed up your shoulders. We're going to really march these arms a bit bigger. So, lovely. Keep those shoulders dropped. Okay, now we're going to just take a hold, pause, and then a pause. So push away, pull, push away, pull, push and pull, push and pull. Lovely. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. Lovely. Now, I'm going to come up to standing for the next one. You can stay seated if you've not. We're doing heel toe. So if you haven't done this one before, stay seated, but then you can always come to standing. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do first. So heel pops onto the floor, squeeze the toes up, and then we lift, pop the toe onto the floor and push the heel. So we're looking at ankle mobilization here. So it's a toe heel on the same spot if you can. You can do this in seated as well. Actually, I think it's easier in standing. So you can start by looking at the floor to make sure you're on the same spot, but then eye gaze to me or forwards. So heel toe, big toe push, big heel press. Da, 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 da. And I think, Owen, we've got a couple waiting to come in, I think. Ah, lovely. Keep going. So really think about that squeeze and the push. Squeeze and the push. And then we're going to change sides. So heel toe on the other side. Keep this supporting leg off lock, so slightly soft, so not stiff. So it's slightly bent. If I'm going too fast for you, You can slow it right down. Right, I can't see the other screen at the moment, but I think Eric's in. Good morning. And who's that? Keep going, keep going. Good morning, Ken. Nice to see you. Annie, Bob, Trudy is there. Lovely to see you, Trudy, Sally, Jenny, Caroline. Keep going, keep moving that. And Brenda's coming in. Lovely. Keep moving that heel toe. Fabulous. And then we're going to come into a proper march. So a proper march is still lifting the heels, but we're taking the foot off the floor now. So lifting the foot off, relaxing the shoulders. So there's no tension in the shoulders. Okay, lifting the knee in front of you. Lovely. Keep the belly pulled in if you can. Always, always think about your pelvic floor muscles. So squeezing as if you kind of might need a wee in half an hour. So you're getting worried about it, but you're okay. So a little bit of tension on then. Lovely. Okay, so we just need to warm up the hips. So we're going to soften the knees. Sorry, Nick. You all right, Nick? To the side, forwards, side, centre. I'll show you from the side. Side, forwards, side, centre, and then the other way. Side. If you're sitting down, it's a big circle with the chest. One way and then the other. So you've got different options, okay? So just warming up the hips here, the lower back, side. It's like you've got half a hula hoop. Keep breathing. Try not to hold your breath. Lovely. Da, da, da. And then let's go the whole way around. How are you at hula hooping? Apparently you don't do this to do the hula hoop. I haven't done it for years. I used to be able to do it. And then reverse direction. Lovely. So you should feel warm, mobilised, back to your heel march. Now, always, always, you can use supports. You can have a chair, a wall, a sideboard. You can even have something on either side of you. So you can be between things, between support. You can push down with both hands. You can have one hand to hold or unsupported, depending on how confident you are. Or you can be in seated. So we're going to go for a little march. So we're going to swing an arm or not. One or both. So we're going to make it slower. Now, lifting those knees in front of you is going to start to make you get a bit out of breath. And this is our endurance part of the program. So I expect you to be a little bit out of breath or a bit puffy, we say. That's fine, as long as if I said to you, are you okay, John? And you could go, yeah, I'm all right. I'm a bit puffed out, but I'm okay. You don't want to be like, oh, and you don't want to be, yeah, I'm lovely. You want to be midway. So out of a 0 to 10, you should be about a 5 or 6. So 0 is you've just got out of bed. 10 is you've just run a marathon. You should be about a 6. Any higher, take out the arms or bring it slower, make the move smaller. Any lower, then just add in arms maybe. Okay, so we're going to start by tapping to the side. So a little tap to warm up the hips and start making these movements bigger. If at any time you feel unwell and you need to sit down, please sit down. Let us know. Put your hand up or put something in the chat and we'll help you out. But it's up to you we don't know how you feel because we're not with you. So if you need to sit, please do. Okay, and back to your march. Relax your shoulders. Lovely. Okay, we're going to come to a side step. So keep marching and I'll show you. It's literally step together. And I'm going to do it in front of my chair so you can see if I had a support. Here I'm sliding my hands across the chair. Step together. Step together. Now, you don't need to go this fast. In seated, it's that little tap out to the side. One foot out and then the other foot out. Lovely, Jenny, Peter. Okay, now we're going to step over. What have we got today? The dog. Step over your dog, your puppy, your cat, whatever you want. But you've got to step over it with the first foot and you can't kick it with a second, so you've got to step over again. One leg lifts, then the other leg lifts. Good, Jess, lovely. Step. Now, where are you looking? Are you looking at me, or are you looking down at the floor? Look at the difference. If I'm looking forwards, posture's okay. If I'm looking down, my bum sticks out. I'm going to fall forwards. If I'm going to go, I'm going to fall forwards. So, posture, posture. Okay, lift, lift. And again, slow it down. Lifting your legs is using the big muscles in your body, the big thigh muscles. This is why you might get a little bit out of breath. Your heart's pumping a bit faster. So keep breathing. Now we're week 21, so we are quite advanced now. So if you need to stop and you're new, or you're not feeling too well today, feel free to just come back to that heel lift at any point, okay? Lovely. And let's just come into that heel lift. Just a gentle heel lift. Lift in. Oh, we've got a couple waiting to come in again. Have I? Yeah, it makes me worry. I haven't put the right time out. 10:15 we start. Lovely people. Thank you. Lovely. So just a little heel lift. This is your recovery phase. So we do various exercises and then we recover and then we add in again. So if you've just joined us, just take your time to warm up because we're into endurance. So fabulous. We're going to lunge. What does a lunge look like? I'll show you from the side. So I've got my chair and I'm going to step to the outside edge of my chair. Let me show you from here. So I'm stepping outside. So I've got my chair to support me if I need to. I come back to the apex. I step out to the other side. Now you might want to start quite small to start with. Okay, just a little step because our brains get used to doing these movements. It's quite nice to have something to support if you want to. Or you could have that support at the side. It's not quite so effective, but it depends on how you are. So we're stepping to the side and out. So stepping out and diagonal, back to centre. Keep breathing. So we're not fast here. We're not making fast movements. I want you to really focus on landing heel, whole of the foot, and a push off. Other side, heel, whole of the foot, push off. Heel. And our spines are nice and long. There's no pressure, no tension through the spine. This is good for our leg strength. If you were to go up and down stairs, hills, slopes. And obviously heart health. We've got to think of our hearts. Their muscles as well. How are you feeling? Are we okay? Fabulous. Good. So a couple more if you can. And then we're going to just heel pump. So just lift the heels, not a march, just lift the heels. So this is your recovery again. Okay. Breathe, breathe. Now, I need my clock. I forgot that. First of all, we're going to come into some knee bends. You know it's my favourite. What are knee bends? Knee bends are squats, but you bend your knees. Think about a knee. You're bending your knees. Just have a little heel pump while I show you. So, eye gaze is forward. Keep pumping your heels. Feet are at least hip width apart. You're going to bend your knees forwards and stick your bum back. And then you're going to squeeze the thighs, push through the feet to push you back up. And again, you don't have to go very far. I would rather you have lovely technique than go really far down and kind of bending from the hips. It's not that movement. It's like a concertina. And if we were in class together, we could come and help you and just tweak you. Sometimes it's just a lift of the chest. And try not to stick your bottom out because that hurts your back then. So tuck your bottom under. And really squeeze through the thighs, the bottom, especially when you get to the top. Have a big squeeze. Slowly. You can hold on. Lovely. You can hold on to your chairs, your support. If you're in seated and you're having a rest, not having a rest. If you're performing this class in seated, take your feet back, lean forwards into that bunny hop. Good morning, Cliff. Lean forwards, or the squat. The bunny hop is as effective. It's quite tough, that one. So, little lean, squeeze at the top, hinge, squeeze. Lovely. And then lift your heels. Now, we're going to come into what's called Fartlek Training. Now, some of you lovely new people who've just joined us today won't have done this. So you've got options. You can watch. Well, you could do one round and see how you go, or you could do all of it. What we're going to do is keep lifting your heels while I explain. It's interval training. It's to get your heart stronger. So we've got 3 rounds today. We're going to do knee lifts, so it's not fast. What happens is I count you down. I go 3, 2, 1, and we start for about, we'll go for 25 seconds today. Okay? You can just lift your knees. You can swing an arm as well. You could swing both arms, and you can really go for it. So depending on your strength, how you feel today is how much you put in. It's not a competition. If you don't feel well today, just swing your arms, just lift your knees a little bit, or sit down and do it. I ask you to think about your energy levels. So again, 0 to 10. I need you to be about a 6, no higher than a 6. Maybe 7 if you've done it for a while. Then the second round, we have a breather. Second round, we do exactly the same. Now you can make it bigger, smaller, stay the same depending on how you're feeling. Then the third round, the same. If by then you need to sit down, it's fine. You can sit down at any time. During this phase, if you need to sit down, but please move your heels. It stops your blood pressure from diving down and then you feel faint, okay? So, is everybody happy-ish? If anybody's happy with, honestly, Fartlek is so good for you. So, I'm going to count you down in, hang on, I wonder if I can, you don't want 20 minutes, do you? You want 25. Then you know I'm not cheating if I set this, because I talk and then it goes on to 30 seconds. Okay, so we're going to go in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so lifting those knees. Option is no arms. 1 arm, 2 arms. So lift up through the chest, breathe. Keep breathing. You can swing those arms. We've got 3, 2, 1, and there you go. So what do we do now? Just lift the heels. Just lift the heels. Shush. Breathe. Breathe, breathe. Get your breath back. Think about your energy levels. Are they 0, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10? Thinking about those levels, take it up or bring it down or sit down. It's entirely up to you. We're going to go for round 2. Give me a thumbs up. Is everybody okay? Lovely. Good. Remember, you can always sit down. You don't have to go the whole 25 seconds. If you get halfway through and you think, oh, I can't do that, it's fine. Stop and heel lift. It's really important that you do what you need to do. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so if you want to go bigger, go bigger. You don't need to go faster. You could just lift those knees a bit higher or swing the arms. If you don't want to do legs at all, you could just swing the arms. So do what is good for you. Lovely. You got 3, 2, 1. Fab. Okay, just lift the heels. How do you feel? If you're feeling dizzy, sit down. If you're feeling okay, just pump the heels. We've got one more round. If you're feeling you can just move your arms a bit more, do that. If you just want to move your arms, do that. Or if you go full steam ahead, do that. This is the last round, and then we'll just take it down and sit you down and go into balance for a bit. So 3, 2, 1, off we go. So I'm going to lift my knees, I'm going to swing my arms. It's supposed to be to land of hope and glory, speed. I think I must sing it too fast. Dee, 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 dee. See, I'm still too fast. 3, 2, keep breathing. 1. There you go. See, I wasn't cheating. That's good. I'll remember to do that. Just lift the heels, take a breath. Don't stop completely. If you're not lifting your heels, squeeze the toes together. I need you to just keep moving, just slightly, just to keep that blood flowing so you don't faint. We're going to step, just a small step together, step together, step together, just nice and slowly. Lovely. Da da da. Tum to tum. You could have a little jig if you wanted. Lovely. Oh, good. Lovely to see you on the other screen. Trudy's moving. I'm so glad you're in. Good morning, Valerie, Maggie, Brenda. So many of you in. So nice to see you. Okay, feet nice and wide into one of our favourite moves, wide base sway. Lovely for balance, lovely for bringing your heart rates down. You can do this anywhere, at your kitchen, waiting for a bus. People might wonder what you're doing, but hey, you could educate them. So both hands if you want to. Do you think I'd do it waiting for a bus? I don't think so. One hand, pushing up, pushing up. Lovely. Da, da, da. Da, da, da. Breathe. Your heart rate should be returning to normal, which means that you shouldn't be so puffed out. No hands. Just a sway. La-di-da. Lovely. And then feet come in together. Just lift the heels. Very gently. Go and have a sit down. Sit down carefully in your chair. We're not done in standing yet though because we've got balance. But have a sit down, grab a drink. And I am going to nag you to drink. I know somebody who was hospitalised last week because she was dizzy, really dizzy, super dizzy, and they thought she was having a stroke, but she was severely dehydrated, severely. And it's just, when you wake up in the morning, many of you have to take tablets, grab a big drink. You're supposed to take tablets with a big drink of water. Did you know that? Not just a sip, not just a sip. You're supposed to knock it back with a big drink of water and then have your cup of tea and then fill your water bottle up and just sip it throughout the day. And I know a lot of people are on water tablets and you need to whiz to the loo. It's not much. If you just drink a little bit every half an hour or hour, then you will top up your reserves and you won't get so dehydrated. So please, please, drink. Nag over. Are we okay? Give me a thumbs up if you're okay. Or that's I'm all right and that's I'm not very good. So hopefully you're all okay. Good. That's a lovely bit of work, that endurance, and it's quite advanced. So if you've done it and you haven't been with us for long, well done. Honestly, well done. Some of us have been practicing this for years, or at least from March. So really well done. Okay, are we ready for a little bit of balance? So balance, it can be a bit scary. What I need you to do is to always make sure your feet are where I ask you to put them. So I know they're at the end of your legs. Jeff's not here today. I said, where are your feet? And he says at the end of my legs. So in standing, balance, tend to be always slightly wider than hips, so that if we're wobbly, we've got that wide base of support. Some people like to be staggered, so you can go in all different directions, but always wider than hips if you can. So come up to standing And we'll do a little bit of work through balance, and then we'll do a little bit getting on and off the chair. So, and we've been practicing tandem, haven't we? But I want to do reaches today. I love reaching because, and should we do, I love a lunge. I love reaching down. So we're going to go through the motions of reaching in different directions. So to start with, and I'll show you without my chair, feet are wider than hips. Have your support in front of you, and you have options here. You can come onto your toes or not. You can do the whole thing without coming onto your toes, but I'm just going to practice coming onto my toes and lowering down. So I'll show you from the side. Coming up and down. Now, the best way to keep you supported here is to put the weight through your big toes and your second toes. And that means that your ankle is stable and you don't get so much wobbliness. If I put the weight on the outside, I'm all over the place. Put it through the big toes, second toes, my ankles squeezed together, and I'm steadier. Okay, so just up and down, just a couple of times to get you used to it. If you're seated, you can still do the heel lift and lean or reach. So what we're going to do is we're going to add on, but let's not come onto our feet, onto our toes yet. You might need to swap cameras, Owen, because I'm going to go up. So we're going to reach up with one hand, but it's up and forwards, and then bring that hand back down. We're going to reach up and forwards and back down. So your feet are wide. So it's as if you're reaching into a cupboard or a cupboard, and you can't quite reach it. You've got little legs and you can't get there. Okay, so you might need a little bit more height. So let's come onto your toes, remembering what I said to you about putting the weight through your big toe, second toe. Is that better? So up, reaching forwards and out, forwards and up. Like I said, you don't need to come onto your toes if you don't want to. And this is strong into your calves. So if you haven't done this, then just only do it a few times. Now, try this without coming onto your toes to start with, thanks. You could try both hands, but I'm on my whole foot, okay? My whole feet are down. I'm not on my toes. So up, come down. Reaching up. So I'm up and forwards and down. And then if you want to and you're confident, come onto your toes. But you can still carry on with just one arm if you want to. Or if that's too much into your shoulders, just to reach a low reach. Or just one arm. Okay, lovely. So staying on the whole foot, we're going to reach across. So you can hold on, but we're going to reach across as if you were getting something into that cupboard that's just out of your reach, but across ways. So reach up and over. Come down. If you need to reach a bit further forwards rather than high because of shoulder problems, then that's fine too. So what you might find happens is you're lifting the heel on the other side. So as I reach to my right, it's your left, my other heel lifts up. Reach up. So diagonal across the body. And we know that for some people with Parkinson's, reaching diagonally, working across the diagonals is really good for them, because most of the direction we go in is forwards and back. So reaching across really challenges the body and the brain. Okay, so be careful with this one. We're going to reach out and down now. So it means just watch first. I'm going to step. I'm going to hold onto my chair and I'm going to reach down a little bit. I'm not reaching down to the floor. Just say there's something on a stool and I'm going to come back and step in. Then I'm going to go the other leg. Or you can just stay on one leg and do that a few times and then change. Imagine I'm picking something off a stool, step back. So I always step back wide. So I step and reach, step wide. So you're steady when you come back, okay? Step and reach, step wide. You can do this in seated. You can still take a step forwards and reach. Lovely, Jenny. Good. Step and reach. Good. And back. Step and reach. Excellent. Okay. Let's call that a day for balance. So come and have a sit down. And I'm going to talk you through our lovely stand up, turn, lunge, sit down. So for those who are new, you might not know how to sit down properly, and it sounds really simple, but it's just so important. So just watch the whole process and then we'll break it down. Hip walk, feet tuck back, I lean forwards, lean, pump my heels, don't do it yet, step away from the chair, turn to face your chair. Step one leg towards the chair, hands on the chair, rock my shoulders forwards towards the chair. That heel at the back pushes back a little bit and I bend that knee and I straighten it. Bend it and straighten it just a couple of times. Bring that leg back in. Come up to standing. What do we do in standing? Lift the heels. Push that blood up to your brain. Stop you feeling dizzy. Turn around. This is how we sit down. I don't sit down from here. Feel. So step back to feel the chair behind both of my knees. I know it's there then. I slowly sit down, still looking forward, stick my bottom right back, and I'm right at the back of the chair. To start again, we hip walk, so you can join in. So only do as much as you want to do today. It might be you just do a stand up, step back, sit down. A couple of times, once even. You might just want to stand up, step away, and turn around. And then sit down. So you've got lots of options here. So I'm going to talk you through the whole of it. So let's hip walk in the chair. I'll go quite slowly. Feet back. You can always take your arms forwards to help get out of the chair. Stand up and pump those heels to stop you feeling dizzy. Just gently. Take a few steps or a big step away. Turn around to face your chair. Okay, we're going to take a big step towards the chair. Hands on the chair. I'm going to swap legs so you can see. Okay, let's do some bone loading through the wrists. So strengthening up these wrists. We're just going to take the shoulders towards the back of the chair. So the face just comes towards the chair. Okay, so weight through the wrists here. And then that back leg, I'm just going to bend. I'm going to lower that back leg down as if I was going to kneel on the floor, but I'm not. I'm going to bend it down, so I was going to kneel on the floor, but I'm not. And then I'm going to bring that foot in to meet the other leg. This is the bit where you might feel dizzy, so take your time. Come up to standing slowly. Lift the heels. So you're just pedaling the heels. You're going to take a few steps slowly to turn around. Turn around. Feel the chair behind your knees, both your knees. Slowly, controlled, sit down. Fabulous. So get your breath and we'll go again. This time we're going to try it with the other leg. So we tend to use our dominant leg, don't we? So for me, I'll step forwards with my right. I'll turn around and step forwards with my right. So this time I'm going to step forwards with my left. Give it a go if you're able to. Notice the difference. So, and now you know what you do and it might be easy. So feet wide. Let's hip walk forwards in the chair. Just to the front third of that chair. Feet tuck back. This is one of the most important things. If your feet are there, you're not going to stand up. So feet back, lean forwards, eye gaze forwards and up. Come up to standing. Little heel lift. Take your time here. So I'm going to step forwards with my left leg. And then I'm going to turn towards my left as well. Because we tend to turn the same way as well. So I'm turning towards my chair. I'm going to step my leg left forwards. Left leg, yeah. Hands on to, so grip the chair if you can. If this is too far down, you can always have the back of the chair, or you don't need to do this bit. If you want to just stay pumping your heels for a second, you can. Okay, we send the shoulders to the back of the chair and just back and forwards a little bit. And then you might need to wiggle the toes back a little bit more behind you. Bend that knee as if you were going to drop it to the floor. You can go to the floor if you want to, but you don't have to. Straighten that leg. bend and straighten. Lovely, Lucy, bend and straighten, good. Lovely. Sorry, people in sitting, I didn't give you exercises. Do a little bunny hop again. And then bring that leg back in. Pump the heels if you want to here. Take your time, because you've got to lift your head. You've always got your legs to press on. Come up to standing. Little pump of the heels until you feel steady, you don't feel dizzy. Turn around. Feel the chair behind both your legs. And then slowly, with control, sit down and grab a drink. Because that's hard work, that's using. So you can see why we warmed all of your muscles up. That's working all of the muscles in your body. And that's how, I'll show you how we get you off the floor. Because we can't do getting off the floor if we're not with you. Normally we would have you on mats on the floor doing press-ups, and not quite press-ups, but chest presses, chest lifts. So I'll show you the whole thing, but don't do it. But this is for your information and for if you were to fall on the floor. So, and it's called backward chaining. And what it is we teach you this way and then we reverse it. So we make it backwards and it's in a chain of events. So you've just done this. Into the tree, bend the knee. I'm going to bend that knee to the floor. I'm going to move this leg around. So I'll show you from the front. If I was here, I'd be moving it around and in, okay? You change angles. From here, I'm going to drop my hands down, walk back on my knees. And some of you will go, I can't get on my knees. It's not that we want you on your knees. We need you to get on your knees to get off the floor. So this is what we would do. We would get you on the floor in class. Okay, so imagine you're on the floor. If you're on the floor, please don't ever, and you can't get up, please don't ever just stay in one position. If you can just move slightly, alter position, you won't get a pressure sore. You don't risk getting the circulation cut off. Okay, even if it's just a side to side, roll on your back, on the other side, a little push up, it just alters the position. And you've got to think bony bits. I haven't got many bony bits. I'm covered in too much flesh, but you know, some people are quite bony, and imagine I've seen horrible sores in between knees, hips, ankles. So we need to protect you. So this is how you get off the floor. So a side press, I'm pressing from my top arm, I'm going to push down into the floor and come onto my elbow. Now we practice this against the wall. We won't do it today, but maybe next week. From here, you can take your time. If you're on the floor on your side or on the floor, you can't fall any further. So be confident and know that you can take time to get up if you can, if you're able to. From here, I'm going to push up a bit more. So push, and then I'm going to come onto my other hand, okay? Take the time to let your blood pressure return. So breathe. Now, I need to take this hand wide, and I need to come onto my knees. So I'm going to take my hand wide, I'm going to swing my hips up and come onto my knees. I'm going to walk forwards. And I'm going to press, this is what we've just done, pressing through the hand. I'm going to swing my leg outwards, I'll show you the angle, out and around. Trying to get your foot through is a bit hard. It's a bit hard for your hip, and tummies are in the way and all sorts of things, so that's quite hard. Whereas here is much easier. I'm going to curl my toes behind me. We've just done this exercise. Stepping, practicing lunges here. I'm going to bring the foot in. I'm going to pump my heels or squeeze my toes. I'm going to walk my hands up my thighs. You've always got your legs. Come up to standing. I'm going to pump my heels. I'm going to carefully turn around. Feel the chair. Sit down slowly. So that's how you would get off the floor if you had fallen. So that's why we practice the lunges, the press-ups, all of those movements that we practice in our sessions will help you to have the strength to be able to do that, to get off the floor. And I understand that if you have an injury, it's much harder. But even if, so this is the other tip, the hip walk, if you land and you can just sit and you've left your life, please, if you have a lifeline, press it. if you've left your lifeline on the side or your mobile. If you practice hip walking in the chair, you can always use this to get to a window, a door, your phone, something to throw through the window so you can alert somebody. So this is why we do the hip walk. Okay, you can use it in the bed, in your chairs, but also to get to a place of safety. So that's why we do what we do. So how do we feel? Are we okay? Lovely. So we'll send videos out of that. We have got a longer video, so I'll send that out later for you, because that's quite good for those people who haven't joined us before. So it's a really useful piece of video that you can practice, and in stages, and that's what we're doing in class. We practice it in stages and then we add it together. So let's go into a little bit of a stretch, Tai Chi relaxation. So let's stretch you out. So we've done a little bit of arms, so pop one hand on your shoulder, and this is one of the assessments we'll do later, well, in a couple of weeks actually. You're going to walk the hand down towards the back. We're trying to get to the centre of your shoulder blades, and then you can give it a little nudge with the other arm if you want, and then lift the chest. So try not to kind of round. Lift the chest and breathe. Take your feet nice and wide. If you can, lift that arm up. Take that hand over your head, whichever way that might be. And then lean forwards and come out. Are you hot? I'm really hot now. Okay, other hand, hand to the shoulder. Lift the elbow, give it a little nudge. Lift the chest. Where's your hand compared to the other one? Is it in the same place? Or have you got a dodgy shoulder? Is it a bit stiff and sore? Lift that arm, take it over your head, gentle lean, and come out. Lovely. Hands towards the back of your chair or into your lower back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and just lift the chin gently. Hold it there. I'm melting. And then come back down. Take one leg in front of you. Make sure your toes are pointing up to the ceiling. You need to be on the front third of your chair again, because you need that leg to be nice and straight. If you've got a bent leg, you're not going to stretch the back of your leg. Hands go on the other leg, and my ankle, my heel is underneath my knee, so that's a nice supportive leg. I'm going to hinge from my hips, so I fold from my hips. I'll show you from the side. I'm just leaning into it just a little way, so my back isn't rounded. If I round, you don't stretch the back of the leg at all. So a gentle lean. If you can't feel a stretch in the back of the leg, thigh, knee, take a breath and just lean further forwards into it. And then keep the heel there, sit up, relax the foot off, and then squeeze the toes up again, up towards the knee. Squeeze, squeeze, relax, and then let's swap legs. So other leg goes out, toes up to the ceiling. If they're pointing out again, you don't stretch the right muscles. Hands on the other thigh, lean forwards. A breath in if you need to take a bigger stretch. So developmental stretch, that is, if you need a bigger one. And then tum-ti-tum, just need to hold it. Keep the heel there, sit up, relax the foot off, and then squeeze the toes up towards the knee. And then we'll come into Tai Chi for 2 minutes and then relaxation. So you can stand for Tai Chi, you can sit, whichever you prefer. It's really good for balance, but it's more about calming the nervous system and bringing some calm breath to your body. It is about balance as well. So whichever you want to do is okay. If you're tired and you need a rest, sit. Lovely. So feet are nice and wide. One is into the diagonal. So you've got one leg forwards and one leg back. And I'm just going to take the weight to the front leg and to the back leg. To the front and the back. And then I'm going to row. So my hands go forwards, thanks Owen, and pull back to my waist. So I'm not reaching far. It's just within my shoulder mobility limitations. So I'm not overreaching. reaching and pulling back. So like a teardrop shape, over, under, and back to a point. Over, under, back. Lovely. Da, da, da. I'll have to sing to you. Tum-ti-tum. What shall I sing? That's it. Let's go under. So under, back over to the waist. Smooth, flowing movements. It's quite tough, that little step back, that movement when you bend the knee at the back. So just do what you can. Lovely. And then let's swap sides. So take the other foot forwards, tuck the other one back behind you. Let's go straight into that under. So under, back to the waist as we lean back. Under, back and waist. Keep your breath flowing. Lovely. Keep it flowing. Not too big movements. And then let's go over. So over, pulling back. Fabulous. Lovely, you're nearly done. And then let's come to centre. Feet are wide. Scoop up in the centre to your fingertips. Lift just to your shoulder height and push down. And again, lift, and if you can, breathe in and push down. And again. You don't need to bend your knees as far as I do if you don't want to. You can have your feet in a little bit here if you want to. It's up to you. We're all so different. Lovely. Last time. And then let's just have that ball, that chi ball, to one side, flip it over. Take it to the other side, flip it over. Just in front of you, not too far away, just side to side. That ball is made of glass. Side to side. Bring it back
David,
to
if you slow it down, slow it right
centre.
down.
Okay, just lift and lower. Lift, breathe in, and then we're going to sit down. So take your time, go and sit down safely, properly. Sit down as you should. And then just settle in your chair. Relax. Grab a jumper if you want. We're just going to come into some relaxation. So, close your eyes. We've just got a couple of minutes of breath work. Close your eyes, relax your shoulders, pop your hands, just palm up on your lap if you want to. Just relax the fingers, relax the toes in the shoes or separate them. Take all that stress out of the body. Pull the chin back a little bit and then release. And do it again, pull and release. And just take a long, slow breath in through your nose and out through the mouth. All the way, all the way, all the way. And then a breath in. And then all the way out. A couple more. Take a couple of long, slow breaths in. And all the way out. And then just one more. And then breathe more regularly. Feel your body relaxing. And just notice what happens with that breath as you breathe in. Can you feel the rib cage move out and sideways as you breathe in? And then can you feel it just relaxing back in as you breathe out? And we don't tend to listen to our breath normally, but it's good to do that once in a while. And then I want you to think about sending that breath down into the belly. How does that feel? So it feels like when you breathe in, the belly rises. And as you breathe out, the belly falls back in. And don't try too hard. Sometimes if you try too hard, it makes you feel dizzy. So you can always come back to your normal breath in between and then just come back to it. Just taking your time. And just focusing on your breath helps to reduce anxiety, worry, stress. As you just tune into your body. It's nothing floopy, it's just breathing. It's just something we do all the time, but we don't focus on. So to just take a moment to focus on it can really bring you back to today, to now. Don't worry about yesterday or think about tomorrow, just now, how you feel right now. And then wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. Have a stretch if you need to. Open your eyes. Oh. Put your hands together and give yourself a little round of applause, and you're all done. So well done for another Move More session. We'll send you the video and do it again in the week. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week for week 22. Countdown down.